Oh,
Ah,
we're alive.
yes, we're live. It's
Yeah.
just you and me
So
today. How are
yeah,
you?
which is it's actually kind of funny because I think both of us missed the last like three spins.
I
And
know.
we're
I kind of come every second week, but
no,
we had.
I try, but we had like a influx of both the holidays here and an influx of childhood diseases, like well, more accurately, like vaccines and childhood diseases, and it's just I haven't slept a lot in the past couple of weeks, so I haven't really been able to go on.
We had a family emergency last weekend,
Oh,
so I found like my grandmother was in the hospital because she's 94 and that happens.
yeah.
So I was down south with the boys, and I think I messaged you guys. Hi, Michael. It's good to see
Hi.
you. So yeah, I have not caught up on anything. I haven't posted anything this week. I feel terrible, but should be able to this week coming catch up more on everything. Now that that's my grandmother is now out of the hospital. We were basically told. I think that the doctors kind of scared her. Like, so she said, yeah, she wants the family to come and see her. She was like convinced that it was that day we got down there, and she seemed pretty fine.
And she's
And
still okay.
she's now out of the hospital. Like, it's one of those things where, like, every Christmas it's like, you've got to go because it could be Mum Gear's last Christmas. And we
Yeah,
said that about 5 years ago. But
I know the
like,
feeling. My grandma's 95, so yeah.
yeah. But we're blessed though, because she's still totally with it. Like, you
Yeah,
still have full
which is the most
conversations with
important thing.
her. Yeah, because when my papa, her husband, passed, like the last 5, 7 years of his life, he was not mentally there. So it's nice that she's still completely with it. But
Yes.
yeah, so she said that's hopefully now she's out of the hospital, and I'll be able
Yeah.
to get some writing done this week and get some things posted. So, what did
Yeah.
you? So, did you write last week's prompt?
No,
Or-
I haven't actually written a prompt for a really long time.
I looked at this spreadsheet. Like, got dick in hands.
I know. No, I have a list of prompts and I'm going to fulfill them all after NaNoWriMo. Are you doing NaNoWriMo this year?
Yes, I do it it coincided with me needing to write Wicked Freedom. So, yes. And I'll be posting the Wicked Freedom chapters on my Patreon as I write them.
That's what I'm doing too. I opened a special tier, so I only have like three tiers in my Patreon. The Steamy One Shots, the Nano Challenge, and the which is $3 tier, and the $5 tier, which is basically you know what you get in the $2 tier in the $3 tier, and early access to ebooks, like
Oh,
30-day
nice.
early access to ebooks. That's basically the only tiers I have right now. So
I
it's
oh, I have a
I really
bunch, and
downsized my tiers.
basically, yeah, I have a bunch, and basically, it's my $10 tier and above gets everything. There's some other stuff in the ones above it, like books and things like that, signed books and stuff. Um, and yeah, but that's why I was like, oh, I have to start writing Wicked Freedom, and why not? Everybody's doing Nano.
Yeah.
All the cool
No.
kids. But I'm like every month there's basically a NaNoWriMo for me. Like, it's just gotta be.
No, so I have not written a single word. Oh, watch your hair. A single word pretty much
Yeah.
in October. So I decided Nano is a good place to start to kick my own ass because I really need to get Hidden Signs written already. Wait,
Yeah.
Wicked Freedom is the last book in your
Something wicked series.
your Smut series.
Smut fest.
Smut
Yes.
Fest, that's the word.
Oh man, it's just what was that I was reading? I was like, I need to kind of read it back to get back where I was in that thing. And I was reading, I was like, so much, it's so smutty. It's so I remember
I
I made
just
a TikTok when I was writing Wicked Fruit. At that point, that was Wicked Freedom. And I made a TikTok and I was just like, how do we feel about 2 chapters in the middle of a book that are back to back smut with no plot?
I in almost all my books. What are you talking about? That's like that's the baseline for me. Like plot, 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 smut, plot, 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 like 3,000 words of
Oh,
smut, and then go back to
there's
the plot.
barely any plot. The thing about the Wicked series is because it started from smut fics. I would say that book 2 has more smut than book 1. But because in the middle of book 1, there are 6 chapters back to back of smut, because they started life as one 24,000 word smut fic. Feel smuttier because it's like you get this kind of general. I basically, because I tied those smut fics together with like the thinnest veiling of plot, and then so you get this like, and it's like an interlude in the middle of the book, 24,000 words of just smut, no plot.
I made a reel about this, and I'd love to hear your opinion. I made a reel about this, but like, how difficult is it to not be repetitive in your sex scenes in all your books? I have 6 books. I'm writing 2. I have like an 11 book series of erotic romance planned. I've got this series planned, which is a bit less smuttier because it's also suspense. I've got a billionaire planned. Like my contemporary romance, I'm trying to downsize a bit on the smut and give it more plot. But I've got the erotic series that I'm writing is literally just me purging kink and smut out. Like just whatever comes I write. It could be an entire book of smut, or it could be half plot in the middle. And I was talking on my Instagram reels about how difficult it is to keep trying to be innovative with your smut.
Listen, there
How
is
do you not make all the characters have sex the same?
okay, in 3 books so far, there is 200,000 words of smut. I was definitely smutted out when I finished Wicked Screw. I was
Yeah.
like, I'm done. I'm just done with smut for a minute. But then now, I wrote Head and Stalker, and I'm like, I want smut again because I just go. I've done the plot, and it was heartbreaking, and now we're just gonna go back to lighthearted smut filth. Give me
Oh
filth.
God. Yeah, yeah, no, I know. I'm with you. That's why I'm writing the erotic romance side by side with my other books, and like I sort of bounce between them because sometimes my other books are
Oh,
like really emotionally heavy, and I'm just like, no, no.
the
I need
other
I need to like
thing,
write like
I'm gonna do to help with that smut thing, like, is I'm gonna do multi POV books in the future.
mm,
Because all of my books have been single POV so far.
okay.
And I think multi POV will help with the smut not being as repetitive because it's different people's being in different people's heads for it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it is hard. So isn't there like a meme and it's like the joy of reading erotic romance is seeing how many words the author can use for cock.
I was just thinking that. Oh God. Oh, I had something to say and I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Wait.
Baby brain.
Just ADHD plus the baby brain.
Telling you.
Oh no. I write dual POV. Oh yeah, that's what I want to say. I write dual POV, and you know what? Somebody once told me, and I don't know if it's true. And anybody that's listening, tell me if this is true. That readers prefer male POV in sex scenes over female POV in sex scenes.
I've been told this too.
Yeah, right. It's really interesting because I
Yeah.
honestly I prefer to. I realized that I looked back in my books, and most of my sex scenes are from male POV. It's also more fun to write. As a
Yeah.
woman, like I don't know, as a man, as a woman, it's more fun to write.
It is to just be in the head.
So,
um,
you know, don't get me wrong, I enjoy sex, but like for some odd reason, I have a feeling that men enjoy sex so much more.
right.
Right?
Um, so I broke the rules of the Wheel of Smut a teeny tiny bit with my last smut fic. We definitely said maximum 5,000 words, didn't we?
No, we said maximum 1,500, but okay.
Was it? Because I feel like it was maximum 5,000.
I mean, 5,000 is already a short story, not a flash fiction, but
And
forgive
and
you. I
also,
am. I'm
even if that was the maximum, I think I went over by about 500. It was a whole thing, and I was like, at what point do I cut this? Because it's I just
yeah.
needed to give
So
the prompt justice.
yeah, exactly. But so the scene that I remember, like I wrote that my frustration where my characters deviated
Oh
completely,
yeah,
and I had this entire sex scene written. I've had it written for over a year, and then I had to redo the entire book. That's why it's been a year since I published book one, and haven't still published book two. I had a lot of problem with my characters and their chemistry, and I had this beautiful, sexy, fun, flirty sort of sex scene written, and then my characters just went really intense last time, like really, really intense. They completely went off the rails from what I planned them to be. They were supposed to be the light-hearted couple of the series. Like all the other couples are like really much more heavy, and they're like, especially in the next book, in book three, and they're like, they were supposed to be a bit more lighthearted. And the male character in the first book in the series got shot into a coma, and it's like a whole thing. And this was
that's a
supposed to
lie.
be a much more fun line of book. And then they went really Z. And it was like, this sex scene does not fit them anymore. What am I supposed to do with 3,500 words of a really, really awesome sex scene? So I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for
For
just give me
what?
one shots. I'm gonna use it
Oh,
for the one shots.
yeah, yeah,
To because it's a really good scene, and it would work really well with some of the prompts.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, either that, or I'm gonna repurpose it for like a book,
Well,
or both,
that's what I
or
said in the
both.
chat. I was like, oh, pork and los dos. Um, but that's what I said in the chat. I was like, can you use it for a different book?
No, I can. You can always use it. I have like a lot of scenes that I sort of, this doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna copy it into a different file and then sort of revisit it at a certain point in the future. I've done that. I've done that before.
I
But the
am,
scene I really want to get out, so I'm probably gonna, repurpose it for one shot very
yeah.
soon.
I had I'll never forget when I was writing my first book. I kind of like had planned out what was going to happen in each of the chapters, and there was this one chapter where he takes her under the stage because he's a rock star, and when I planned it, I was like, it's going to be this really hot like sex scene, like they're gonna fuck under there, which they do, but prior to fucking, it turns out they were going to have a like deep and meaningful conversation. I was going to be in floods of tears. And they're like fucking while they're crying, it turns out. Was not quite what
Sexy.
I envisioned for that. Turned out
It's what
instead it was going to be this like heart, like,
emotional. Yeah,
like
I call those.
emotional thing.
Yeah,
It's like,
I call those emotional scenes.
emotion.
Yeah,
Speaking of being emotional, maybe
yeah.
we should spin the
Spin.
wheel. See, I feel like whenever I get on one of these things, it all goes to shit. I just like talk too much.
No,
And
it's
this
fine.
is
I
why
talk too much as
I
well,
love
so I'll
her.
just spin.
Yeah. Okay, so let us spin and find out the magic of what we will get. Ta-da!
By the way, I'm pretty sure like the people that
Yeah.
come to watch us speak, not come to watch us spin.
Meet cute is in A? Is in A? Sex toy stuff! Woo!
Oh, this is a good one. Wait, don't forget to
I am here for that. That is phenomenal. Ah, meet
this is a
cute.
really good one. I think it's good because it works like for everybody, no matter what you write, this works.
Right? Oh,
I
so
feel like going PNR with this one.
really?
Like a witch that runs a sex toy store, and they're all magical sex toys.
I just went to open up Snip and Sketch so that I could take a screenshot of that. And it brought this up. I just want to talk about this because this I made after I posted my I don't know how to make it. Can you make it bigger? Yeah, you can.
No, I can see it. I can see it.
Yeah. I am so proud of this. So this was for I'd already posted the fic. This was for the they meet during a B&E. And one of them is the intruder. And I had it in my version, I had to strike through, you know what I mean, in Word. But then when I'd posted I'd forgotten to take a screenshot of that section in Word so that you could see that it was struck through. And so then I discovered this font. And I paid, I'll say it quietly because my husband's away, $160 for this font family so I could make this. No, it was worth every cent because I will use this shit in the future. How cool is that font? It is literally the only font that has this, like, because if you think about it, when they make these glyphs, they have to make that strike through for every possible combination of
Right.
letters.
Right.
And it was so good.
It's insanely awesome.
Right? And so
Yeah.
she'd written this letter. She was drunk and she wrote this letter, and then she put it under his door because he's her neighbor. And then in the morning, she thought she saw him going away with a suitcase. And in the morning, she woke up. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm just going to pick his lock because what's the point of a misspent youth if you don't break into your neighbor's apartment to get the letter back?" And then she gets in there and she's looking around. She's like, "Oh, okay, the letter isn't here. Obviously, I didn't go through with it," because she sent a picture of it to her friends. And they were like, "Dude, you're not actually going to send that, are you? You're actually not actually going to do this." And then as
And
you
she
first
did.
saw, he's like leaving so soon, and then they fuck.
Oh, I think I'm your patron. I need to go read this. I haven't had time to. I have a book that Annika Martin's new release, But Dialing the Millionaire, that I have to read. I love her books usually, and they come out. I read them, and like, her series is fucking brilliant. If you haven't read it yet, go read it.
No,
Start with there's Most Eligible Billionaire, but I started from the second book. They're standalone. The second book is The Billionaire's Wake Up Call Girl. Just
that's
just the
amazing.
premise, just the title, you want to read it, right?
Yeah.
The Billionaire's
But
Wake Up Call Girl.
the millionaire and the billionaire.
But Dialing the Billionaire. So that's the last book. The latest book, I'm still like 6 or 7. I lost count. It's such a good book. She like, it's such a good series, and I usually read them right when they come out. But it felt like it came out right in the middle of all, like, hell broke loose in my house, and then Nano. So I'm kind of like right now, and I really want to read it. I'm gonna get around to reading it soon. Then I'm gonna get around to reading about Grant's great ass.
Yeah. Good. And seriously, I think that, not to put too fine a point on it, but I think that letter is the finest moment of my entire author career.
And on that positive note,
that font was worth every
that
cent.
font is amazing.
If you ever need me to make up a letter like that for you, I have the font.
I'll keep that in mind.
I loved it. I loved it so much. I had so much fun. I mean, I probably could have handwritten out the letter, and in hindsight, that would have been cheaper. But I can make it. That was effort, and this was money, and I'll have it to do in the future. I'm finding it hard to justify. That's why I'm telling you about it, because I will feel better if people appreciate the letter.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Good.
Totally justifiable.
I needed that validation. I needed that to feel better about
I validate you, Sean.
Thank you.
And on that positive note of empowerment, I'm gonna go check my baby's still alive, because he should have woken up already. That was very grim. My baby's still alive. He's got a baby sense. Everything's okay.
Okay. It's fine. The baby, we promise, the baby is still alive.
Yes. Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you for joining us.